Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to Flex's View in the morning time. It's not quite morning view, it's basically morning view though, but it's the Flex's View edition, you know what I mean? Because we have to talk, people. We've taken it in last night, everyone was excited, and Ruben Amorim absolutely schooled Pep. I ain't gonna lie, I thought about it. I feel like there's some rival fans a little bit worried. I did say there wasn't yesterday when Owen was talking to me, when KG was talking to me. I was like, I don't really think there is. We've got to chill. But we do need to chill. We do need to take it into context. But we also need to go through some of the quotes that Ruben Amorim said after the game and talk about that performance and how we think it could apply to us. It's important to do that. And at the same time, have a little bit of fun because it's been absolutely shit. It's been rubbish. There's been a lot of negativity. We've been in a bad place. We've been losing games. And this is our new head coach on his way into Man United. So we can have a little bit of fun as well. So I want to do all of those three things this morning. First of all, you don't know what to do. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And once again, I have to say, yesterday morning, I know I said it then, or lack of saying it because I was just speechless, but everyone who showed support yesterday and love, like in the super chats, the comments, like it was insane. It was Lawbreaker and Nubian Pharaoh just again yesterday, and everybody else who put a super chat in yesterday. It was just ridiculous. So I just wanted to just bless you guys again and big up to you guys again and show my appreciation and my thanks for that. Right, Ruben Amorim. Let's be real here. Let's be real, right? Pretty much, I'm not gonna say every Man United fan, but a lot of Man United fans would have been watching last night. I know a lot of you guys were with us last night on the match view for Man City taking on Sporting in Amorim's last game. There would have been a lot of eyes on that game worldwide. I mean, City probably didn't know what hit them. Record numbers watching one of their Champions League games that usually nobody would care about. You know, even rolled out Noel Gallagher in the stands. He had a lovely trip to Portugal, didn't he? Absolutely beautiful trip. And there were so many more eyes on this game than there normally would have been, with the greatest respect to Sporting and the greatest of disrespect to City. But we sort of went into it with an open mind, didn't we? We went in there with a bit of caution. We went in there with a little bit of excitement about what we potentially could see. And we saw it, man. We saw it. I mean, look, before I get to the context and why we can't get too carried away, I'm just going to gas it up. He absolutely schooled Pep. Pep, you know when Pep's doing that, flickering his lips in. You know when Pep's doing that? When Pep's doing that and he's scratching the beard and he's scratching the head, it's incredible. He's incredible. He's incredible. This manager, he's incredible. When he's doing that, he's worried. Man is worried. Yeah. And listen, City got off to a good start. A proper bozo gene from Sporting, to be fair. I think they were nervous. They made mistakes at the back. The goalkeeper, I don't know what he was doing for the first goal. Went on to make some decent saves actually after that. Because they composed themselves. Because actually in the first sort of 15, 20, City had the chances. And I know what happened in the first 15 to 17 minutes. Because Owen and KG told me. Because I was trying to get my Flecknology to work. So if you're thinking you didn't even see it, Fleck, I was tuned in. I got feel for what was happening. I saw the highlights. I was locked in. All right. And they did it right. They did it right to compose themselves because it weren't easy. They could have been a couple of goals down very, very quickly. But it should have been 1-1. That man Gyökeres. Jesus. I mean, look, I know we have to be careful. We can't overgas. But bring in Man United. That's where I need the soundboard. I ain't got nothing. Bring in Man United. Don't care what it costs. Bring him. Bring Gyökeres now. Bring him to Man United. He is ridiculous. I mean, Coventry fans will tell us all about him, about how well he did in the champ. But, I mean, since he's gone to Sporting, he's been something else. And actually, ironically, KG at the time that he scored his first goal was sort of in the middle of saying, which his video's dropping this morning, he said, just sort of analysing his goals. And he sort of just said, look, the Portuguese league, it's not all that. Some of the defenders he's scored against, it's not that. And then he runs through against Man City and scores in Champions League. And then goes on to score a hat-trick, by the way. But I take his point, though. I think he was up against that kid at centre-back for Man City. I can't remember his name. Is it Simpson? I don't know. But he outpaced him and stuff like that and caused big problems. So you do have to take that into accountability. And you do have to look at could Rasmus be our Gyökeres? I mean, Rasmus is a lot younger than Gyökeres. Gyökeres is polished. But even away from that, we need a ready-made striker now. Someone who can come in and do it now. And there's a reason why a whole host of European teams have been interested in Gyökeres. I know Arsenal really, really want him. A lot of links and rumours around him going to the Premier League, especially Arsenal. Arsenal fans are always talking about him. You know what Arsenal fans do? They always talk about their players before they actually get gas. They did it with Isak. But yeah, I feel like Gyökeres is one who's not just because he's been in the Portuguese league and looks all right, and now we've got the manager. No, he's been wanted. He's been wanted for a hot minute. So he's very exciting. He goes on to score a hat trick. But what I was really impressed about is that 3-4-3, how it just dismantled City. It just absolutely dismantled them. They came out in the second half, scored a goal straight away. Really good goal. Cut through them straight from kickoff. The penalty that City got was a disgrace. Absolutely disgrace. I just do not know how UEFA gave that. But then Haaland missed, hold that. But then the penalty that Sporting got to balance it out wasn't equally as disgraceful, but it was very soft to say the least. But we don't care because it happened to Man City, and that was it. Gyökeres took that penalty as well, and it was lights out for Man City, and they just saw the game out from there. 17-year-old right wing back is his name, Quenda. He was very impressive as well. So you're sort of looking with your scouting eye. You're sort of looking with the eye of like, oh, you know what? If we can get a couple of these, man. But I will say this on a serious note. You know, Ruben Amorim spoke after them, which I'll get into the quotes in a second for the actual facts. But of course we need to be careful, guys. You know, like people said in the chat, people when I was posting things or putting on X, and they're right to say it. You know, look at the wing backs that they've got. Look at how they've developed them. These players have been playing in that system for a couple of years now with this manager. They knew exactly what to do. They were well drilled. The atmosphere and the moment that they was in, Ruben Amorim's last home game as sporting manager. All of these factors, City in a really bad moment. I hate to put a doom and gloom on it, but this is just the context of the other side. I can't just gas it all up and not give the proper context. It doesn't mean he's going to walk straight into us, guys, and do that. It doesn't mean that. But what it does show is if players buy into the formula, that's the type of level of performance you can get against Manchester City, best team in the world. You know, that is if everyone's on board. And look at the players that they've got. Sporting, some people may say, you know, they've got better players. Some people may say they've got a whole better squad than us. But listen, we've got a lot of good players at Man United. We do. We've got some players who aren't good enough. Some players who, you know, are not at the required level. We know that. But what we can see from you know, the manager side of things is if the head coach side of things and the hierarchy, if we support this manager into identifying some of the players and the attributes like what he has there, that's what he's capable of building. A team capable, yes, in a one-off game in the league stage of the Champions League, but you could see what they were all about. And we've been seeing it with Sporting. As we've done a little bit more research, as we've looked into how they play and how good they've been, you can see their style. And they're not always going to do that, of course not. And look, we don't have wing backs like that. We don't have a striker like that. 3 centre halves potentially, yes, that's strong. 2 central midfielders to pick from, yes. I mean, their two are very mobile, but you know, we have a lot of resources at our disposal as well. And if you back him and keep patient, now he's head coach as well. So Dan Ashworth and co, and Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, Christian Vivell, all of these people, if they get together and make the right decisions and listen to the recommendations of this man, Ruben Amorim, then there's no reason why we can't help him construct a very similar team, if not better, with better resources, with more money. And I don't mean by just throwing money at it blindly. I mean, you know, more financial power than Sporting. So there's a blueprint there that we could follow. Do you know what I mean? But we have to be so patient. I've said many times, I allow myself in the moment to enjoy things. It's nice to tune in on a Tuesday night to watch to do a match review that we wouldn't normally do for our head coach is on his way and he just happens to be playing Pep Guardiola and they smashed them 4-1. It's nice. It's funny. It's enjoyable. But when you stop for a second and hit pause and go, okay, what does that mean for us? The truth is, it means less than it means more. And what I mean by that is, again, we can take the bits out of it and go, okay, well, if we can get some of this, that, and that right, this is what is possible. But we also know where we're at as a team and we can't expect miracles. Football is not as black and white as that, you know? I don't doubt that if Ruben Amorim's a good manager, we can see him some improvements fairly quickly with the team. We can't rule that out. We've been so unused to that we're scared to sort of think that a manager can come in and change us fairly quickly. But it is going to take time. We have to manage them expectations. We can't just be thinking he's going to come in here, roll out that exact same formation, and all of a sudden that's Mazraoui and Dalot bombing on in them fullback areas, doing an absolute mazza. You got Rashford and Bruno in them inside tens, just causing havoc, and all of a sudden Hoyland is the new Gyökeres, and it just doesn't work like that, does it? And we know that. But here's some of the things that Ruben Amorim said, full quote. He says, "What I can tell you is that this doesn't mean anything in particular. Don't take anything from here. I've said this before. We cannot transport one reality to another context. Manchester United cannot play the way we play. They cannot play so defensively, and we will have to adapt ourselves." That there is genius. Now, that isn't him saying, don't know how to play the sporting way. Don't have alarm bells. Don't have alarm bells like, oh, this is just Eric Ten Hag 2.0. Oh, he said we thought we was going to get the Ajax way, and he came in and said, can't play that, mate. Don't have the players. No, it isn't that. It's basically, actually, the first time I'm reading the quotes properly, actually, I want to do it like reacting to you guys properly. That is the first time, or what we're seeing is Amorim understand the assignment. Understand the assignment. Because if you come over here all cocky, thinking that these skills are just immediately transferable, he's going to be in for a big awakening. He said before the game in a piece of TNT, the Premier League is a different world. And this is just another example of him understanding exactly that. The Premier League is a humbler, mate. Shout out Grizz. Yeah. Football's a humbler, but the Premier League is an even bigger humbler. He said we'll have to adapt ourselves. And he's right. He says Man United cannot play the way we play. They cannot play so defensively. That's him basically saying, listen, we're Sporting. There's a big gap between the two teams. You know, we're from the Portuguese league. We're going to have to sit back at times. And I did say that last night. I said, especially in the first half when they were trying to stabilise, when they were defending, they were very deep. They weren't pressing. They were hitting them on the counter. Their transitions were very, very good. But it was almost a flat back five. And he's basically saying, at home, at Old Trafford, I'm adding in the extra bit of context in terms of at home, but at Man United, I can't afford to sit off teams and play defensive, look, a flat back five like that. The wing backs coming in all the way back there to help out. We had to suffer because it was Man City and we're Sporting. I can't do that when I get to England. I like that. He says, of course, it's very difficult to beat Manchester City. I was listening to Mr. Pep Guardiola's press conference and you were asking difficult questions. This doesn't mean anything. He's locked in. He says, when I arrive in Manchester, I will be living in a different world. It will be a different team. We will have to start from a certain point. The starting point will be very different. Absolutely true. We will say to the Manchester people that we had the luck on our side. This was a one-off. And when I arrive in Manchester, I will assess the situation. The context will be different. Spot on. Spot on, Ruben. That's exactly what it is. Because although I'm gassing it up and at the beginning saying, hold that, Pep, you got schooled. He did in that moment, but it isn't as easily transferable. And this is Ruben Amorim completely understanding that. He also said, what I can tell you is this. Oh no, hold on. Let me get the rest of the quotes up as well. He said, there's loads of quotes here. One Portuguese journalist to Ruben Amorim, because I'm not going to Braga, I would like to thank you for the respect you've shown to journalists. This is interesting. I speak on behalf, but I think my colleagues will share with me, and you improved our work. Basically, you help bring the best out of us. And the media and the journalists are a big part of how the manager or / head coach is received. Right, and I know we say the hounds are always out in this country. When you are Man United manager, you've got a massive target on your back, on your forehead, on the side of your head, on your chest. It doesn't matter where, on your face. You got a target. If you're a Man United player, you got a target. The scrutiny is like unlike anything else. We've seen it. That's what the club does, especially because we've been poor for so long. And this is him, or I say that this journalist is basically saying, you know what I mean? You've been good to us. And you can see by the way he speaks in the presses as well. You can see how he conducts himself and how he is. And his response to that was, well, I'm happy to hear what you said. And I think that you journalists always treated me with respect and was fair with me. It works both ways. You were respectful. You were fair. You criticized me when you had to criticize me. I think we had a balanced relationship. I usually tend to be nice when I talk to other people, but it wasn't just from my side, but your side as well. That's really nice to hear. But that bit's very important. It's about a balance. You were respectful, you were fair. You criticized me when you had to, but also we had a balanced relationship, and it works both ways. And that's gonna be. I think the English press are really gonna like him. I think they are. I think we as fans are definitely gonna like him. I've made my mind up on that with how I've seen him speak. I'm sold on that. Just in term, and not the football, not being back. Just him, the individual, the man, the charisma, the personality, the characteristics. I'm sold on that already. I like the way he talks. I like the way he comes across, and I think the British media will as well. I think the British media will definitely do that as well. Some of the other quotes. He says, I'm not going to read anything for 6 months. The only way to work well is to work and focus on the team. And that was when he was asked about the English newspapers and outlets. He said, I'm not going to read anything for 6 months. The only way to work well is to work and focus on the team. And we need to hear that from him. He also says, Pep is so much better than me at the moment, but I believe a lot in my newest club. We will start from the lower level. Maybe I can say that. And we will improve the team, the club. Let's see. Again, being realistic. He also says it has been an amazing journey, and now I will start a new one. We need to play these games in a different way. We cannot defend like this, so I have to improve as a coach. And Ruben Amorim asked if he's tempted to bring Victor Gyökeres to United. Let's get into this quote. Ruben Amorim asked if he's tempted to bring Victor Gyökeres to Man United. He says, no, 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 no. Say no, 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 no. Then you say yeah, 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 yeah. It's fine. It's fine. He says no, 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 no. I cannot be funny with that in this moment. Very true. It was tough for me to leave. If I start to joke about that with Gyökeres, then I have problems. This is my city. This is my country. So, sorry, this is my city. This is my country. So I will respect that Victor has to stay until the end of the season, and then his life. Maybe he is going somewhere else. Brilliant. The way he's handling the questions. And you know it's different when you read it versus when you watch it. So I know if I watch this, this would be even more. This would be even more sort of even better to see. But he says no. You know, it was really, basically it's really tough for me to leave. If I start to joke about Gyökeres, then I have problems. That's disrespectful. I'm not going to be in a situation where I wanted to stay to the end of the season. I've had to bail out on a team halfway through the season. And do that. That's not fair. That's not fair to Gyökeres. It's not fair to my city. It's not fair to my country. And I won't do it. And he has to respect. Gyökeres has to stay until the end of the season, and then it's his life. Then it's up to him. Maybe he might go somewhere else. And listen, with Gyökeres in hot demand, let's be honest, guys. The Arsenal fans are licking their lips. They could do with Gyökeres. Oh my God, he'd be perfect there. Absolutely perfect there. Be perfect at a whole host of teams. Gyökeres would be perfect at Liverpool. Be perfect at United. Be perfect at Spurs, even though they spent big. You get my drift. Yeah, he's brilliant. So I think that he's right to say that, because I think when you look at Gyökeres, there will be offers in the summer. People will be in for him. He's got a release clause, I believe, that we know it's going to hot up with all the rumours, because we're going to get Amorim to Man United. So there's going to be an obvious link there. But the other teams ain't going to go away. Maybe he does go somewhere else. He also says it was an amazing night as well on beating Manchester City. And on joining United, he said it will be fun, very fun, and I'm ready for the challenge. When I arrived to the Premier League, it's a different world, a different pressure, he also said. And then back to the thing, it doesn't mean anything. He says, I will keep these memories forever. It was written, the first half was tough for us, he says. We were very lucky. It was an amazing night. We changed the pressure in the second half and closed more in the middle. Rio was speaking on Ruben. He said, if I'm sitting here as one of those players, I'm thinking, why isn't he coming tomorrow? But I don't want to get carried away, man. Rio, don't do it, bro. You did this with Ollie. And he did push back to Laura. He said, no, I'm not getting carried away. But I know Rio, and he would have been looking at that being going, rotted. Listen, this guy looks good. Get him here now. Get him here now. So, listen, there you go, peeps. You know, be excited. Be excited at the proposition of him coming in, but be patient, be realistic. Have a laugh about what happened yesterday to City, because it was funny. You know, we always want to see them lose. That's 3 losses in a row for them. I saw a quote from Bernardo Silva saying they're in a dark place right now. We always want to see that. But, you know, we have to be patient and we have to take our time. But be excited. That's what I would say. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I'm out of here. Take care. Peace.